Todd's getting us set up on another spot with some more fish, but I'm gonna go over some rod, reel, line, tackle, and what we're doing to fish vertically for these lake trout. So first off, what you're gonna wanna look for is essentially a salmon rod on about that 8 to 8.5 foot length. You don't need a lot of length to get away from the boat, so really anything around 8 foot will probably be just fine. The most important thing is a line counter reel. We are trying to get our gear right on top of these fish every time we mark them, so having a line counter is very important, so that way you can keep your gear within 10 feet of the fish at all times. Next, line. Braided line is a must for 2 reasons. First, it cuts down the amount of lead that you need to get down to the fish because it has thinner diameter. And 2, it has more sensitivity, so you can feel what's happening down at depth. From the braided line, we actually come down to a top shot, and it's just a bumper line. And this section of line here just goes from our yellow Maxima Braid 8 down to 20-pound Maxima Ultra Green. And the reason why we run this bumper is because this water is fairly clear. These are predators. They have good eyesight even down that deep. And so having a little bit of bumper with this Ultra Green to take away this laser beam of a yellow line up above them a little ways, I think is going to help us catch a few more fish. That's what we've seen here lately. So from there, we come down to our jig. Now we are running anywhere from a 2-ounce to a 4-ounce jig. And this one here is just a fish field jig that I built up with a hoochie and an anchovy body. And this is just supposed to imitate a kokanee. Very simple. And what we've seen is that a lot of times these Mackinaw do like to see a little bit more motion than just say the swim bait by itself, which is why I added on the hoochie. If you've bottom fished before, fished for lingcod, sea bass, this is essentially the exact same rig, very, very similar. And we're fishing deep just like you do out in the ocean too, but we're fishing for a char, Mackinaw, as opposed to sea bass and lingcod.